am your host, Coach Jake, and I am here to talk about changing your mind. The most important thing, single most powerful thing a person can do in their life is change their mind. You tracking with me on this? You follow? See if am I hitting anybody out there in on Instagram? By the way, curious if you guys are seeing me out there, checking everything that I got here. This is kind of a new podcast for me, only because I have recently figured out how to integrate Instagram onto this stream. So now no longer do I have to run two cameras. This is fantastic. But okay, talking about changing your mind, I did that today. Listen, man, I just really want to talk about the importance and the impact of changing your mind. And actually, what made me think about this was I was listening to my mentor, Greg Cardone, and he said that. He said, the single most important thing a person can do is change their mind. And he said it in the context of a rebuttal to somebody that was giving you some sort of pushback on a objection, right, on a sale. And that was his rebuttal was, hey, that's great. I understand. I know that you have made up your mind about not doing XYZ or not working with me, XYZ. However, the single most important thing a person can do in their life is to change their mind. And man, that really, really rocked me. Hey, what's up, Dominique? Happy to see you. Got Dominique out there on Instagram. Dominique, are you in the Netherlands or Belgium? I can't ever remember. Either way, super excited to see you, and thank you for joining me. But I wanted to talk about, this idea of changing your mind and how it is, there is quite a bit of a stigma around changing your mind, right? Like, I think that a lot of people view, if you change your mind on a subject, you can look at like politics during debates. If somebody changes their mind, a lot of times that is presented as a weakness, right? Like, or some sort of being indecisive. I don't know if that is necessarily fair, but I think that is the gut reaction to a lot of people when they do decide to change their mind. Belgium, oh, wonderful, wonderful. I have the Flemish lion tattooed on my arm because one of my mentors, because I know Dominique through Grant, but one of my other mentors in grappling was the Belgian freestyle national champ and Greco-Roman champ before going on to represent Belgium in the Olympics in 1948. He passed away in 2000. I'll say it was 2007, I believe. Karl Gotch, or his last name is Karl Istaz, Istaz. But yeah, so in his honor, I have the Flemish lion tattooed on me. But do you feel like changing your mind is a sign of weakness or indecision? I change my mind every day on things. Now, I don't want to be wishy-washy. If I am in like an agreement with you, like I said, I will do this and I'll live up to the agreement. It's written down, like, or a handshake and a firm handshake and looking at each other in the eye. I'm not going to wishy-washy that. What I'm talking about is when you get new data, do you update your model? Right? So I think that like stigma around changing your mind is misplaced. And I think that flexibility and adaptation are actually strengths if they're done right. Okay. So I'm not saying, I'm saying it's a little more nuanced, right? Like there are certain things where maybe it is important to be unyielding on a certain subject, right? But other times maybe you're missing out on opportunities and growth. And so, this is one of the things, like, what is sales? Sales is trying to get somebody to do something perhaps different, right? If it's a new client and you've never worked with them before, you're trying to convince them to change their mind and to work with you, or to buy your product or your service. Fair? Now, I think that, there is somewhat of this like idea of the psychology of change. I'm not a huge fan of psychology, mostly because I'm a fan of science, and a lot of the psychological studies that have been done do not actually understand the concept of statistical significance and statistical power, and a lot of this was from the work of John Ioannidis at Stanford, epidemiologist and statistician, brilliant man, a huge hero of mine. And it's called the replication crisis. I'd highly recommend you look into it. So I don't want to get too wonky about psychology, right? But I do want to talk about, and you know what? Let me put this chat overlay. Let's see, what does that look like? Anybody throw me up a number 1 in the chat? Love to see you. See if this works. I don't know if this is working. I'm testing out everything. I'm changing my mind. So, we have to be very cautious about seeking out information that just confirms our pre-existing beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you want to be reassured of a certain course of action is the right one. Fair? But, thanks, Dominique. Appreciate that. Yep, it works. I see you there. Hopefully you can see your own comment up there now. I think that you want to make sure that your beliefs are proven out with regards to feedback from the universe and things of that nature. But I also think that it's important to also not have our egos so invested in things where we can't be wrong, or maybe a better way to think about it is to be less wrong and to be more right as we continually add more information and get smarter, really, right? Adapting. So this is one of those things, like if you can look at a guy like Steve Jobs, right? He, in the course of his time at Apple, changed his mind several times. I don't know if you've read that Walter Isaacson biography on Steve Jobs, but it's really fantastic. I believe that this kind of flexibility is crucially important, that you've got to be able to if you're going to innovate, if you're going to grow, you've got to swim in this world of change, right? Netflix, for example, like they had to pivot, right? Wasn't Netflix, didn't they start out like Redbox? And then they just went totally online. That's where somebody had to change their mind. Somebody was sold on the fact that these grocery store, Redbox type situations were the way of the past. And it was a relatively new technology. It kind of came and went. Remember, like that transition from online streaming from Blockbuster happened relatively quickly, technologically speaking. So I think that we need to really maintain this kind of open-mindedness, right? Be open to new information. Try not to be, I don't know. I don't want, this word has a lot of political connotation. Don't be like conservative if it's wrong. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of great work. There's this woman named Carol Dweck. She does a lot of research on growth mindset that I think is important to look at. But I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm not even sure if this thing, I know that I'm streaming out to LinkedIn. Thank you to Dominique for giving me the hello on there. But anyways, guys, the single most important thing that you can do in your life is to change your mind. So what I would love to see and love to hear from you guys is to do an inventory of maybe some pre-existing beliefs or even let's call them biases, and maybe be open-minded to hearing other perspectives, pursuing new things. Maybe you do need to buy that thing from that sales guy. The salesperson wouldn't be in your orbit had you not shown some sort of interest. And maybe they're right. Maybe what you need is just on the other side of that purchase. I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. But I appreciate all you guys. I am absolutely exhausted. Give you an update on some things. I just got back with Sandra, my wife, and I, and our 3 kids all spent the last 4 or 5 days since Saturday in Orlando. It was fantastic. We went to so true, says Dominique. Well, thank you, Dominique, for the feedback. We went to Orlando, and it was a huge conference that we attend every year for the software company that we run, known as Gatemaster Technology. You can check it out at gatemaster.com. It's a ticketing and point of sale solution for amusement parks, water parks, and family entertainment centers like laser tags and putt-putt golf, all the way up to huge amusement parks. We even used to run the Alcatraz exhibits. So, it's a big company. It's hundreds of clients, 16 different countries. And this year we actually just celebrated the 30th anniversary. We had the founder of the company out there in Orlando with us, and it was great, man. Went to Epcot. I have to say, by the way, Epcot is by far my favorite personal attraction that I've ever gone to. And because of this business that I'm in with my wife, I've gone to a number of attractions, and man, I've never really been to Epcot. First and foremost, have you gone on the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster? It is the craziest thing. So amazing. And because we were, I don't want to call it insiders or whatever, we ended up having a friend, my wife's friend, Malia, gave us a special guided tour. We got on 3 times back to back. The wait on that line was 4 hours. And we got on boom, 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 3 times. So basically, who you know, not what you know sometimes, got us on there in terms of what it would taken somebody else 12 hours. We got on there. So anyway, Dominique saying there is a delay between your input and the chat, just for your info. Okay, that is good to know. Thank you for the feedback, because otherwise I wouldn't know. I love Epcot. Yeah, it was so great because, so first of all, we started out 3 times in a row on Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, yeah, it's awesome. The ride's amazing. The best ride I've been on ever as well. So not only Epcot my favorite, but my favorite new ride is Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot. However, don't do it 3 times back to back. Oh my God. I was sick for probably a good hour after we got off the ride. It's an incredible ride. But the other thing that I love about Epcot is all the food. They had it was some sort of food and wine fest, and they had all of these. They had Belgian food. I had I think it was braised beef with some kind of potato. Oh, it's delicious. They had Irish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, different parts of South America. I mean, it was amazing. It was so great. What a great, great time. And then we ended up having our 30th birthday party. It was really clever angle for us to have a big party at Congo River Golf, which is a franchised. Well, I don't even know if it's franchised. They got multiple locations. Let's say that. I don't think they're franchised. Multiple locations. You can pet alligators and do mini putt-putt golf. It's really cool, really fun. Professional, amazing establishment. We had our party there, which was about a mile away from the Orlando Convention Center. I think we had maybe 100, 125 people at our party. So fun. Appreciate everybody that showed up. And then what else? Oh man, we just packed so much in. It was great. Dominique, thank you for that, for the congratulations. Yeah, it was really a great, great event. Just got back last night at midnight. So we're all exhausted. I had to wake up, had a lot of clients and getting unburied from being gone. Then tomorrow, my wife and I are going out to the Mojave Desert because I've got a wrestling camp for scientific wrestling that we're hosting. Going to have Wade Schallis, the Guinness record holder for the most wins in all wrestling, the most pins in all wrestling, according to Guinness Book of Records. Most wins over international champions, most wins over national champions. Very excited. Wade and I have been working together almost 20 years now. He gave me a third degree black belt. I'm the first black belt in wrestling, and I'm a third degree from him, which means a lot to me. And as if that wasn't enough, we've got Josh, the War Master Barnett, also going to be there. It's going to be a killer time. I hope some of you guys will come out. I know that, on this particular channel, just so you know, I do multiple streams. So this stream, I'm aiming it at at my clients for Number One, right? You should check out Number One LLC. You can also go to number1coaching.com. That'll point you to the website, show you all our offerings. The whole thing is my company makes your company money, increases your revenues up to 30% in 90 days with our proprietary methods. So love to be able to help you out with that. But I also have the scientific wrestling venture, which is super fun as well. Sorry, I'm so spaced out. But all right, guys, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I appreciate you guys showing up. Dominique, so lovely to see you. Hope you are doing well. So proud to know you and what you're doing. Everybody else, please, if I can help you, I'm here. You can send me messages, DMs. I'm not hard to get a hold of. Happy to help you. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you very, very soon.